Doing good? Good. Lucas got my last name 75% right. He asked me twice before he came out. But listen, 75%, we're doing okay. At least he got the first name right, Saïd. So I asked for, and I was granted the ability to talk about two. This is the places. Place number one is going to be the place between fiction and nonfiction. Right? Yeah. Because I do both. And place number two, addiction and non-addiction. I want to say sobriety, but I don't think sobriety sounds quite right for what I'm going to talk about. So non-addiction. Okay. So after the show, you're all going to stick around and buy books, right, from all the authors. Of course you are. And we'll be signing. And so the first story in my short story collection is called Audition, which seems fitting because right now I'm on the stage here and you're all looking at me, and I hope I don't fuck this up. And so I wrote a story called Audition, and it's about an aspiring actor who lives in an unnamed city. And it's the early 90s, and he meets a guy, he's working construction, and he meets a guy named Duncan Diaguardi. And early 90s, here, I'll give you another quiz. This is following up John. Early 90s. We got Seinfeld, right? Most popular. What else? Michael Jordan, number 2. What's the third most popular thing in the early 90s? Friends. You get a free drink if you can guess this. I actually can't give you a free drink. That's up to the bar. Actually, Oprah. Close. Oprah's close. It's crack cocaine. So that's what we're going to be dealing with tonight. And so let's talk a little bit about the difference between, fiction and nonfiction. We're going to start there. So, I mentioned the character in the story is an aspiring actor. Guess what? I used to be an aspiring actor, too. Yeah. How'd that work out for me? Okay. So, I was living in Pittsburgh. There's no way you're from Pittsburgh and you just do, oh, really? Oh, my goodness. We had 2 different upbringings then. So, I'm living in Pittsburgh, and I'm taking a scene class in college. And back then, you could smoke. Nobody gave a shit. You smoked, and, all the class. And I was doing Mammoth and Sam Shepard, smoking. And my friend, who was a smoker, I wasn't a smoker, my friend was a smoker. She said, I can tell you don't know how to smoke. I said, I didn't know there was like a thing you had to learn about how to smoke. I had no idea. But listen, I'm a dedicated actor. So what did I do? I'm going to practice smoking. And me and my scene partner, who was a smoker, I said, show me how to smoke. Show me how to smoke. Okay, show me. See, you got to inhale. You know what happens? This is the most disgusting thing. Face is red. Try it again. I'm dedicated. I'm going to try again. I'm going to get this right. Practicing. We were rehearsing for like an hour. I don't know how many cigarettes I smoked practicing. I contend that by the end of the rehearsal with my scene partner, I was addicted and I didn't know it. I was addicted to cigarettes and I didn't know it. After that, I did the thing where you go, you know what? This has nothing to do with theater now. This is like just sure, I'll have a cigarette now. Just fun. It's fun. Smoke a cigarette. I had gone from, here's how the trajectory goes with cigarettes. Disinterest, mild curiosity, pleasure. What comes after pleasure? Huh? Nostalgia? What'd you say? Nostalgia? Huh? Nausea? Someone hand this person a mic so we can hear this. Pleasure. Then comes need. Then comes I can't quit. No matter what I do, I cannot quit. Lucas mentioned I was a basketball player. Well, pickup. And I remember always feeling like, you know what, I'll tell you how I know I'll never be a smoker, is because I play basketball and I would never allow cigarettes to interfere with the game that I love. And then guess what I did? I stopped playing basketball. So, early 90s, now I'm a smoker. I'm trying to quit, I can't quit. Every day I would, at the end of the day, I'd have a pack and I'd throw them in the trash. I said, that's it, I'm done. This is it, I'm done, no more. And then by noon the next day, I think I could go for it, just one. I'll just do one. And then I'm buying another. You're not, you know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. So, aspiring actor, where do aspiring actors work in Pittsburgh? Same place they do in New York. There you go. Shout out to all the restaurant workers here. What I'm about to talk about has got nothing to do with you. I know this is present company not included. So I'm a cook in a restaurant in Pittsburgh, and hanging out with my buddy. I worked the dinner shift. When you work the dinner, you hang out afterwards, you drink, smoke pot, and then one day, my buddy, I'm gonna call him Duncan Diaguardi. He says, "You ever smoke crack?" No, I can't say that I have. And you want to smoke? Hey, YOLO, right? YOLO. Huh? Who said no? YOLO. So, same thing with the cigarette. Show me how. Oh, this is it. Show me. Show me how. Am I doing it right? And not much of an effect. I didn't feel. I was like, this is what this is all cracked up? Oh. That was not scripted. We don't want to do puns, do we? No, we don't want to do puns. Is this what all the fuss is about? And then we hung out again, and I spoke again. And by the way, Duncan, not his real name, college basketball player, former college basketball player, good-looking guy, 6'3". What do you do when you get out of college and you haven't made the NBA and your degree is pretty worthless? You're a busboy. And we got high again. And then something started to happen, which was I started to have the same feelings that I had about cigarettes, which was, hey, you know what? Maybe today, maybe we'll do it again today. And I remember thinking how I wished cigarettes were good for you because I liked them so much. It wouldn't it be great if they were good for you? And then I started feeling the same thing about crack cocaine. Wouldn't it be great? I had that thought. Wouldn't it be great if crack cocaine was good for you? And cigarettes, dreaming of cigarettes, cartons of cigarettes. And then suddenly I had a dream one night of a rock of crack that was like as big as a baseball. Similar thing. So if I was going to give a title to this talk, I'd say this is How Smoking Cigarettes Saved My Life. Because I realized, the same thing is happening, and I am on the same path. And this is addiction. This is what addiction is saying in my head. This is the same thing. So, with great effort, I quit the restaurant. I disassociated with everybody I worked there with. And it's funny because I do remember months after I quit, I got a call from Duncan one night. and it was 10 o'clock on a Saturday. And he said, hey, my brother just got out of the service, and he needs health insurance. And would you by any chance have $40 so that I could get him his health insurance on a Saturday night at 10 p.m.? And and then I moved to New York City. And then I tried to become an actor. And hey, I even auditioned once here. I did the Merchant of Venice monologue, that's what I remember. And I got a call back, and then I came back, and then I had to dance. There was like 40 people, and they were like, some guy was playing the drums, and they went, okay, everybody dance. I don't know how to fucking dance. And I don't know, Public Theater Insiders, Jordan Thaler was doing cast. Jordan, you didn't cast me. Okay, but now here I am. I get to be on stage anyway. So yeah, I'm in New York and I'm trying to be an actor, and this is before I decided to become a writer. And then I said, fuck it. At some point, I was like, acting isn't working for me anymore. So then I became a writer, and then one day I went back to Pittsburgh to see my mom, and I'm on the bus in Pittsburgh, and I'm driving. I'm riding the bus, and by the way, only poor people ride the bus in Pittsburgh. And I'm on the bus and coming back from the airport, and I'm seeing people get on. There's an elderly guy gets on. He's like 70 years old, bad shape. I mean, he looks like he's wearing hospital scrub. I don't know, and he's thin, and teeth gone. He sits down in front of him, and I don't think anything of it. But then there's a little something in my head. It's like, what? What's and I did a weird thing. So he was sitting in front. So did this just go up now? So I get up and I go to the. I walk to the front of the bus as if I'm going to get off, just so I can turn around and come back. And when I come back, I make eye contact with this elderly, 70-year-old man with no teeth, and I realize it's Duncan. It's Duncan. And he sees me and I see him, and then we're catching up, I guess, as you could call it that. And I'm trying to act like I don't notice anything about him. And he says, I remember when I remember when I would hang out with him younger, he told me, he said that he would, he was concerned about becoming an addict, and he said he would look in the mirror. He would look in the mirror and he'd say, Duncan, this is not you. Kind of giving himself a pep talk. This is not, like as if you can will yourself out of addiction. So there he is, and we're talking, and it's like 2012, and I remember distinctly one of the things he asked me was when I told him I lived in New York, he said, oh, were you there for 9/11? 9/11 was 10 years earlier, and I was like, I don't know, something about that's the thing that comes into your head. It just made me think of this is a man who's been living with trauma for a lot of years. It's like the first thing that his association with New York is trauma. Okay, so I come back to New York, and we're going to get to the part about fiction and nonfiction now. And so I had always thought I'm going to write a story about this, just about smoking crack cocaine and being somewhere in between. And I sat down and I decided, am I going to do this as fiction or nonfiction? And I decided somehow I thought I could get closer to the truth. As odd as this may sound, if I talked about it in fictional terms, and I made it 1991, and I made the guy, he's not working in a restaurant, but he's working construction, and he meets a guy named Duncan, and it's the early 90s, and it's Seinfeld, all the rage, and Michael Jordan's all the rage, and crack cocaine's all the rage. All right, you got to buy the book and read the story if you want to see what happens. All right, thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.